On Sunday, the juntas of Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger declared the withdrawal of their respective nations from the regional economic bloc called Ecowas, citing the bloc's imposition of inhumane sanctions aimed at undoing the coups in their countries. Greetings everyone. In today's video we will be discussing the recent withdrawal of Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger from the Economic Community of West African States, Ecowas. These nations have accused the bloc of imposing sanctions that they deem inhumane in an attempt to overturn the coup that have taken place in their respective countries. The juntas, in a joint statement, have declared their decision to withdraw from Ecowas, asserting their sovereignty and expressing their belief that the bloc has strayed from its original principles and the ideals of Pan-Africanism, which it was founded upon almost half a century ago. Over the years, Ecowas has faced challenges in addressing the recurring issue of coups in the region, with citizens expressing their discontent over the lack of benefits from the abundant natural resources available. Without further delay, let us begin our discussion. In a collective statement broadcasted on national television across Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger, the juntas announced their unanimous decision to withdraw from the Economic Community of West African States, Ecowas, citing a departure from the founding principles and Pan-Africanism that have defined the bloc for almost 5 decades. In their statements, they expressed concerns that Ecowas, swayed by external forces, has strayed from its original principles and now poses a risk to both its member nations and the well-being of their people, which it was initially meant to safeguard. Regarded as the foremost political and regional power in West Africa, the Ecowas bloc, consisting of 15 nations and established in 1975 with the aim of fostering economic integration among member states, has faced challenges in its efforts to combat frequent coups in the region, leaving citizens feeling disillusioned by the lack of benefits from abundant natural resources. According to Oge Onubogu, director of the Africa program at the Wilson Center think tank in Washington, ECOWAS is rapidly losing both its effectiveness and the support of citizens in certain regions of West Africa. Many perceive the organization as prioritizing the interests of its leaders rather than those of the general population. The method by which the countries would execute their departure from the bloc remains uncertain. The Associated Press reached out to ECOWAS for clarification, but they have yet to respond. However, it is worth noting that the bloc exclusively acknowledges governments that operate democratically. Last year, the Regional Court of the bloc made a ruling stating that juntas do not possess the authority to act as substitutes for elected governments in representing their respective nations. The recent announcement on Sunday adds another layer of complexity to the ongoing political turmoil in West Africa, which began with a series of coups, including the most recent one in Niger last year. Additionally, the 3 countries involved have established a security alliance, breaking off military connections with European nations, particularly France, and seeking assistance from Russia instead. The joint statement criticized ECOWAS for its alleged failure to provide assistance to the 3 countries in combating existential threats such as terrorism, which was the primary justification given by their respective militaries for overthrowing their democratically elected governments. The statement pointed out that when these states took control of their own destiny, ECOWAS adopted a stance that was deemed irrational and unacceptable, imposing sanctions that were illegal, illegitimate, inhumane, and irresponsible, thereby violating its own regulations. The juntas argued that instead of bringing improvement to their circumstances, the ECOWAS sanctions have only served to exacerbate the suffering of populations already battered by years of violence. According to Cheta Nwanza, an analyst at Lagos-based SBM Intelligence geopolitical research firm, Niger's junta viewed last week's failed meeting between Niger and Ecowas as a chance to hold the bloc responsible for their perceived mishandling of the coup in the country, citing a flight problem as the reason for the delegation's inability to visit Niger. According to Nwanza, this withdrawal appears to be a further decline in the influence of the 2 long-standing superpowers in West Africa, France and Nigeria. To support our channel's growth and ensure broader awareness, kindly hit the like and subscribe buttons. This will help us reach more individuals and disseminate valuable information. Thank you in advance.